Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of P&M and the AM. I am your host, Mike Lauro. No Pat today, no Al today. You just got me, so we're going to dig in for the next hour or so. Got a lot to get into, guys. Let's see. The Phils with a big comeback win last night. Christopher Sanchez matching Chris Sales last night. I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game, and which it was. So we're going to dive into that. Penn State kicks off their season with a thrashing of Nevada. If you were with me yesterday on the Happy Valley Huddle, we kind of went over that. We're also going to dive back into that game a little bit. Also, a look ahead to Thursday night. That's right. The Birds take the field for real Thursday night. The Dallas Cowboys come in. So it is officially Hate Week here in Philadelphia. So welcome to Hate Week. And it's time to bring on the Dallas Cowboys right now and drop that championship banner. Put a close on 2024 by starting off 2025 with a win over those Dallas Cowboys. So with that being said, guys, let's kick back and let's get on the way here. Let's see who we got checking in this morning. Al reposted the stream. Thank you, Al. Yeah, good morning. Great time to be a Phillies fan. Yes, it is, Adam. Yes, it is. First and foremost, we're going to get into this Phillies game last night. And I'll tell you what, man, Christopher Sanchez had a game of games last night in this. As you take a look, as I'm going down here, I'm looking at the box. There's Trey Turner. We know he got the game-winning hit last night, driving in 2 runs in the 10th inning. But I'll tell you what, Christopher Sanchez, 7 runs, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. 8 strikeouts. Tanner Banks going 1 inning, giving up just 1 hit. Johan Duran, no hits, 2 strikeouts, and then Matt Strom just giving up the 1 base hit. So Phillies giving up 9 hits last night, holding the Braves to 2 runs on 9 hits. Phillies had 3 runs on 6 hits last night as they defeat the Braves, and they took 3 in this series. And the most important thing, guys, if you're really taking a look at this right now, the Mets dropped 1 yesterday. I will say this: the Mets made it a game. They were down 8-2 in that game yesterday. I was kind of keeping tracks on that game as it went on, and to see the Mets come back in that game, those guys are really kind of playing hard. It just so happens their starting pitching is what I think is going to do them in. I'm telling you, their September's coming, and I'll tell you what, it is going to be whew. Now, Phillies got the national game tonight. It will be on ESPN at 7:10. So you have something to watch. You also have a couple college football games going on today as well. Let me see here. Take a look. I know they got one of them today. There's 3 games today. There's Virginia Tech and South Carolina at 3:00 today. Tonight, 7:30. It is the Catholics versus the Cons. That's right. Notre Dame visits Miami. So I believe the Tech game is on. I believe it is on ESPN. So if you have ESPN, you'll be able to watch that game. And I believe the Notre Dame game I believe that is on ABC. So I'll double check for you. Nope, that's on ESPN as well. So both games are on ESPN today for football. Again, the Eagles start at the Phillies will be on 7. They will be on 7:10, also probably on ESPN as well as they get ready for tonight's game. I do believe it is an ESPN game tonight. Yes. So I don't know how ESPN's going to do that, but running 2 games, maybe one of them bounces over to ESPN too. But that game is definitely on tonight. So getting into it last night, the Phillies, like I said, really kind of they weren't hitting Chris Sales really that good last night. Again, like 2 for 13, leaving runners on at the scoring position. That's been a problem with this team all year. It's going to continue to be a problem with this team because they just don't get people in. As I'm looking at the stats from last night, I believe they were 2 for 13. I believe I heard Maddie say that they were 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position last night. I just want to double. Yep, 2 for 13. So that's not good enough. That is not good enough for this team. They got to get better. They have to get better. Mike Foods checking in, says, "What's good, Mikey? What's going on?" Al's letting us know he will be at the Eagles game Thursday night, so he might be maybe might be giving a probably live presser, I guess, from the game since he will be there. Adam Cease checking back in says, "I can't believe Alabama got upset yesterday." I'll tell you what, another one that I couldn't believe with yesterday as well was Clemson losing at home at LSU. That was something, but we're going to get into that when we get into the college football landscape in just a little bit. But yeah, so basically, like I said, going tonight now for the Phils. I do believe it is for tonight's game. I do believe it is. I think it's Jesus Luzardo going tonight. I'm going to double check right now with this because it should have it of who's going tonight. So, all right, to Atlanta. I don't want to see. I just want to see who it is. Yep, Jesus Luzardo is going up against Waltrip. Young right-handers 4-0. Luzardo's 12-6. So that will be your game tonight on ESPN. So it is a national televised game. So they are your starting pitcher. They're your starting pitchers for tonight. Can the Phillies actually come in and sweep out this Braves team? Can they put them away? Can the Mets try to stay close to the Phillies? After losing, they've lost 2 of 3 to the Marlins. So it's interesting to see because, Peterson's probably their best pitcher. I would say for the Mets, he's been their best pitcher. I'm just wondering who's going for them today. Let's see. And that game is at 1:40, so let's see who's pitching for the Mets. Maybe they might have a shot. Oh, Senga's going today. Senga and Alcantara are the 2 starting pitchers today. Sandy Alcantara and Senga for the Mets. So that should be a pretty good pitching matchup, guys. That should be a pretty good matchup going forward with this. So, hey, we'll have to wait and see what's going on. Nooms checking in says TT has been swinging over low sliders from left-handed pitchers a lot this year, and to throw him a straight fastball 0-2, that's why the Braves stink this year. Well, hey, Nooms, listen, man, it happens. It does. It happens. But what I want to see really more from this Phillies team, and I'm being dead honest, for me, right now, they just got to keep winning series. That's it. I mean, they had a bad week. Up in beginning of the week up in New York. They lost, and they got swept out by the Mets, and the Mets played better. I mean, the Phillies looked like a team that was like didn't look like they belong in Little League, let alone in the major leagues. Just playing the way they played. But they came home, they regrouped. Kind of took some frustrations out on this Braves pitching, at least the first game anyway. The last 2 games have been kind of, small ball, really small ball. They hit 7 home runs Thursday night, and, I think they've hit 1 since, and that was last night. They got their first run on a Weston Wilson home run. So if you look at it over a 4-game series, they've already hit 8 home runs with a game left to go today. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. They're hitting. As well, at least they were the first game anyway. I can't keep saying that they were hitting when they were kind of struggling yesterday. So they have to get off the mat. They got a kid coming in today. He's 4-0. They're going to have to beat them. And like I said, the Mets got probably their 2 best pitchers going in the last 2 days. One of them lost, and then the other one is going today. So, and then, like I said, if you're looking at it, the Phillies, they got to go to Milwaukee. They got a 3-game set starting tomorrow. And that's going to be, I feel like, I feel like the Phillies are going to have to take 2 or 3 from the Brewers. I don't think they're going to go in there and sweep the Brewers. I really truly don't. Especially you kind of have Nola going. Um, you'll have Ranger, Nola, and probably Taiwan Walker going in those games. So I don't see if you can get 2 wins against the Brewers, that would be pretty cool. And the Brewers kind of cooled off a little bit too. Them going up to play Toronto really kind of did what they you know kind of cooled them off a little bit going up north. Adam checking in saying, what can a hitting coach do with them other than get better with runners in scoring position? Just play fundamental baseball. Like I can't remember the last time the Phillies dropped a bunt to move guys over. If you have guys first and second, drop a bunt, make it second and third. Now you just need a fly ball to score at least one. And if you get a single, you're scoring 2. Like this team at times, it's like they pick and choose when they want to play fundamental baseball. Nooms checking in says almost every one of the New York Mets' best pitchers threw yesterday, and Davinsky winds up being the best for them yesterday. They can't sustain anything either. Yeah, it's like nobody wants to win this division. That's the way I'm looking at it with this Phillies team. They really, really, truly don't want to win this division between them and the Mets. I mean, it's like one team gets so far ahead. I mean, but stop and think about it, guys. Phillies started the week last Sunday. They were 7 games in front of the Mets. 7 games. After this Sunday, they could go back to being 7 games ahead of the Mets, which means they've lost nothing in the week. You're right back where you started a week ago. And a week of the season's been played. So, you got to look at it like that. I mean, to me, if the Phillies win tonight and the Mets lose today, they're back up to 7 games. They're back up to 7 games, and they basically they didn't lose any ground this week. They did not lose any ground. I mean, to me, that's a good week, and that's 7 games off the Mets schedule. That's 7 less chances now that the Mets have to try to get back in this. Well, and they got 4 coming here next week. So, the way I look at it is this, and the Mets got, like I said, you're thinking, imagine they lose 3 out of 4 at home to the Marlins. They got to go to Detroit for 3. That's not going to be easy. That's not going to be easy for them. Okay. After that, they got 3 with the Reds. Leading into next weekend, they have 3 with the Reds before they start that big 4-game series coming here. No off days they get Thursday off. They kind of have they don't have the weird schedule like the Phillies do. The Phillies have a weird schedule. The Phillies got off Tuesday, and then they play Wednesday, Thursday before coming home with that. Alrighty. He said Duran finally mixed in some off-speed knuckle curve at the right time. That needs to continue if he wants to succeed in the postseason. I agree with that news, but the guy made his bread and butter dropping 102. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We're just going to wait and see. I mean, the guy's only blown 3 saves all year. That's pretty damn good. So, all right, guys, listen. Excuse me. Make sure you guys tune in tonight for the final word with Matty B. He will be taking you the ins and outs of Philadelphia sports. And, of course, one of my best segments on his show is This Date in Philadelphia Sports History. Make sure you tune in tonight, 10 o'clock. Actually, I think he's probably going to do a probably both, because if you look, Matty's actually covering the he actually has to fight in the final tonight. So he probably won't be doing the final word. He'll probably just be doing the Phillies game. So take a look at that. He hasn't given us the promo pick yet of what we're going to be doing, or what he's going to be doing, I should say. So either which way, either after the Phillies game or 10 o'clock, tune in. Matty will be on tonight. This is your lineup, guys, for the upcoming week here with the Brewers series. I will have you Monday. That's right. I will be on after the game tomorrow, and I will also be on Wednesday. So I have back-to-back games with the Brew Ha-Has, and Matty will be finishing up on Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, kind of a busy day. The attacking third will be on at 9. that night. Also, also following that, the attacking third on Thursday will be the Birds Flyby. That's right. Game 1, Steve will be there. Steve was going to be doing double duty that night. So Steve will be on Thursday with the Birds Flyby. That's right. Your comprehensive Eagles post-game coverage right here on It's a Wrap Sports Friday. It'll be either myself or Pat with the wraparound exclusively 10:30. And so make sure you guys tune into that. Also, Wednesday night, that's right, Wednesday night, the premiere of Props, Locks, and Parlays. That's right. New show coming on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. My guest this week will be none other than Paul Spencer from Out of the Box. And them 215 boys show respectively. Over there, Paul will be joining me. We're going to be breaking down college football, pro football, prop bets, and parlays. So I want this to be a very interactive show with you guys. I want you guys to call in with your prop bets. If you're going to play a parlay, what teams do you like? Who don't you like? That's what this show is really going to be about. And of course, it's for entertainment purposes only. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And Saturday, that's right, the Happy Valley Huddle with me. I am your official Penn State post-game show, as they will be taking on FIU this week. So it should be another close one, I should say. So make sure you guys tune in for that, guys. And there is our schedule for right now. Adam says, who do you think is better, Diaz or Duran? You know, I'll tell you what, man. They both. I think Duran is probably a little bit better than Diaz. Diaz has kind of been up and down this year, but Diaz is a good closer. He's a really good closer. I think so. I think the Mets got something with him. I really do. He said Duran was a decent closer in a pretty weak division. He's better than anything we had, and I will still take that trade. Me too. Considering Mick hasn't looked good in his couple starts up there, so it's kind of looking good for the Phillies. I think Igor Tate, though, might be the backbreaker, man, once this kid gets hitting. But you never know. I mean, he could come up through the Twins, or the Twins don't pay nobody. They really don't. So, sending him to the Twins, by the time he's MLB ready to become a free agent, the Phillies could re-sign him back and bring him back if he's any good. He said props, locks, and parlays is like smash, thrash, and hits for Kiss. Didn't even think of that, Steve. We just tried to put something together for that. All right, guys, we're going to transfer over from the Diamond to yesterday's games. I'll tell you what, man. College football yesterday was pretty damn good. I'm actually going to go give you guys some of the scoreboard here from yesterday. It pretty much all kicked off on yesterday with the big showdown in Columbus between number 1 Texas and number 3 Ohio State. And Ohio State pulled out that game yesterday, winning 14-7. I was not impressed with Arch Manning yesterday. If you guys that were here watched that game, it's kind of hard coming out of that game saying you were impressed with Arch Manning. I thought he played a really bad game. And I thought the announcers were trying way too hard to kind of put what he did over the top. Gus Johnson was just a little too theatrical for my liking yesterday during that game. I'll tell you what, the one game that I was kind of looking at yesterday was later on in the day, which was that Florida State-Alabama game. I was kind of going back and forth between that one and the Penn State game, of course. But just to give you a little rundown yesterday, I'll run over some final scores for you. Yeah, you know what, Adam? You were right. It was a boring game. It was they hyped it up as a 1 versus 3, but I'm sorry, Texas didn't look like a number 1 ranked team to me. They didn't look ready to play. He said Arch was missing passes and didn't look comfortable. Well, that you got to give Ohio State credit for. Their defense was coming after him, and they made him look subhuman yesterday. They really did. They made him look like a normal person. Let me give you some scores from around college football yesterday. Number 24, Tennessee, just barreled Syracuse yesterday, 45-26. Indiana, 27-14 over Old Dominion. That's 20th ranked Indiana. Number 5, Georgia, no problem with Marshall, 45-7. Again, number 8, Alabama fallen. So there you go. The SEC already, their one main representative is booted out. Alabama is gone. So they will definitely they're probably going to drop down probably, I would say, late teens, maybe even late teens to like between 17 and 20. They're probably going to drop because, they won't kick Alabama out of the top 25. That'll never happen. Number 22, Iowa State goes 2-0 with a 55-7 over South Dakota yesterday. Penn State 46-11. That was a really, really good game. Drew Lohr again yesterday. Just to kind of touch on his numbers, guys, he was 22 of 26, 216 yards, one touchdown, passer rating of 167.4 yesterday. So good for him. Katron Allen led the rushing attack for 8 rushes, 43 yards, and a touchdown, his longest with 18. Singleton had 19 yards rushing, but he had 2 touchdowns yesterday. And, of course, the wide receivers, I got to mention them. Pena and Hudson yesterday combined for 13 receptions and about 160 yards. About 155 yards, 1 touchdown between them. Nate Singleton also catching about another 4 passes out of the backfield, giving them a pretty good. They were between Hudson was averaging almost 15 yards a catch yesterday. Pena around just a little over 10. So Penn State looked really good, I think, on offense. And like if you watched the post game yesterday, I did mention that it looked like that Allard was getting a little bit of happy feet in there. He needs to kind of set back and let his line, do their boxes, do their blocks, and let him. He's got to learn to go through his progressions and not be so quick to kind of take off there. The one thing I did like yesterday was that Penn State defense. Sutton, the way he punched that ball out yesterday, he was a one-man wrecking crew over there. It says, you think Penn State moves to number 1? No, I do not, Adam. I do not. I think Penn State will stay at number 2. I think Ohio State will leapfrog Penn State and go to number 1 because they beat the number 1 team in the nation. So it'll be kind of hard to see that. I think Ohio State and Penn State are going to be 1-2 until they play. Because I'm sorry, as much as Oregon, which, by the way, Oregon won 59-13 yesterday over Montana State. I do not think that I don't think Oregon's going to be able to come in here and do that to Penn State. There's no way in the whiteout game. I do not see Oregon coming cross country and beating Penn State here. Nah. I think if you look at the Penn State schedule, man, there's only one spot, man, where I can see them really kind of tripping up, which would be they play literally in 3 straight weeks after the Oregon game, which, by the way, they have a bye between their 2 biggest games this year. So whoever the schedule maker was for the Big Ten, they really kind of looked out for Penn State this year because they get a bye before the Oregon game. So, and then they get a bye again before they play Ohio State. So, to me, I'm like, but this game on October 18th, which is basically it's the end of it's like Penn State plays 3 games, they get a bye. And then here they play 4 games, or they play 3 games or 4 games, and then they get another bye. But right after this third game, they play at home against Northwestern. The following week, they go to Iowa. And Iowa has been a house of horrors for Penn State. They don't really, they don't really play well in Iowa. They've been upset there. As a matter of fact, the last time they were ranked the number 2 ranked team in the nation, they lost in Iowa that year. Iowa ended up beating them. I think they beat them and Ohio State in the same year. So they end up beating them both. So, and then that Iowa defense will be ready, waiting on Penn State, I believe. Then they get an off week, and then they go to Columbus. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking at it right now, Columbus, that's going to be a big game. And I hope Fox stops taking this game, because I can't stand when Fox takes this game. Fox takes this game, and they just, to me, I'm sorry. Like, Penn State, Ohio State should not be, it shouldn't be a 12 noon game damn near every year. I can't remember the last time they played a night game. What was it, maybe 2017? Might have been the last time they played a night game. All the rest of the games the last couple of years have been during the day. 12 noon. I don't like a 12 noon kickoff for Ohio State, Penn State. I think that should be primetime game, especially with them both being highly ranked this year. Week after that, Penn State gets a visit from Indiana. They come into Happy Valley for themselves to come in there. So, again, Penn State's got a lot of things going for them right now. Like I said, the games from last night, I was just enamored, man. I really was. I'm sitting here looking at some of the games last night were just, whew. I'm looking. Oh, here it is. I mean, if you look at some of these games last night, it was just the Pac-12 is now down to 2 teams. Can you believe this? I'm looking online, and I'm like trying to get some of the late games that came in. The Pac-12 is now the Pac-2. Crazy, man, crazy. A&M with a nice win last night. Vandy had a nice win. Everybody in the SEC's 1-0, with the exception of South Carolina, who plays today, and Alabama and Texas are 0-1. Crazy. So, but no, that's not what I'm looking for. That's right. I forgot. Oh man, I forgot that Big 12. Here we go. There were some pretty good games last night. Late in the night. Oklahoma State is still in the Big 12. God bless them. So let's see. The Big 12 has Arizona, Arizona State, Houston, Utah, Colorado. So it's like half of the Pac-12 like went and joined the Big 12. Man, this conference is all over the place. BYU. Jesus, I didn't even know that. Who's still in the AAC? Army, Navy. Oh, and local news. How about Temple? Temple with a big win yesterday. I don't know who they played, but they beat somebody pretty thoroughly. I think it was like 42-10, the last score I seen with Temple. So let's give Temple a little bit of love there. All right. Adam says, hopefully ABC takes it. Well, you know what? I believe NBC, Adam, has the Big Ten on Saturday nights. So that's a Big Ten matchup. So if it is going to get moved to a nighttime bill, it would probably be on NBC. It wouldn't be on ABC. ABC doesn't really get too many. They kind of moved off of the Big Ten. They kind of jumped on the SEC. So them and ESPN are all like big SEC. You'll see a lot of SEC games on there. Same thing with channel, was it CBS? CBS used to be all SEC, and now they're more Big Ten. So Joe Hale says Notre Dame's going to be good. Yeah, I think it's good. Matter of fact, Joe, that game tonight should be a good one between them and Miami. I think it should be real good. So, all right, guys, we're going to move on. It is now hate week here in Philadelphia. That's right. Hate week is upon us to start the 2025 season. The Dallas Cowboys, you're now on the clock. And what I mean you're on the clock is you're next. Cowboys, Eagles going into today, and You know, for the longest time, we've had to hear, and especially from Cowboy fans, is about how Jalen Hurts he's not a good quarterback. He's a product of the team. Well, Cowboys hold. I heard something the other day, and it made me think when dealing with certain Cowboy fans, not all. But if you really look at it, Jalen Hurts and Hall of Famer Troy Aikman are basically, their paths are basically the same. But the only exception is that Jalen got the 2 Super Bowls in his first 4 years, where Troy only got the 1. He got the 1, and he won his first one. Or he got the 1 in his 4th year, and he won. But if you look at their stats, go look at their stats from year 1 to year 4. That's all I'm asking you to do. And Troy Aikman's a Hall of Famer. Think back at his first 4 years. They didn't ask him to try to. When they tried to make him a passing quarterback and standing there, he got killed. People forget 1989, 1990, Troy Aikman got his tail kicked. That Dallas offensive line didn't become good until 92. So you had 89, 90, 91. That line was getting their tail kicked. But these are the comparisons that I'm going to make. Their numbers are similar, and I'll go over their numbers. I have them here. Their numbers are very similar. Okay, their situations are even more similar. And what I mean by situations is, you look at, Troy Aikman had 2 really good wide receivers. He had a Hall of Fame wide receiver and one, Michael Irvin. On the other side, he had Alvin Harper for a couple of years, up until that 92 team. They had Alvin Harper, who was a perennial Pro Bowler. You had probably, I think, the best tight end in football at that time, Jay Novacek, who should be a Hall of Famer. And I'm an Eagles fan, and I'm telling you, Jay Novacek should be a Hall of Famer. That dude was a beast. Then you had the greatest running back of all time behind that he could hand the ball off to, and Emmitt Smith. He had the most dominating offensive line. That line was a really good run. I mean, Emmitt Smith got 1,000 yards every season. So, yeah, like, their line was just becoming dominant towards his 4th year. But that ended up becoming a dominant line. Oh, and by the way, had a Pro Bowl fullback in Moose Johnson. But Cowboy fans don't talk bad in that light about Troy Aikman. I just named everything that he had around him in his first 4 years. So I guess we can, if you're going to say Hurts is a product of his team, then I guess your 3 Super Bowls that you won in the 90s was just a product of Aikman being around a bunch of Hall of Fame players and good players. Because that's basically the same thing what's going on right here, right now with the Birds. They've gotten 2 Super Bowls in 7 years, so the one don't even mirror the other. And I'm going to read you Troy Aikman's first years. Passing yards, 1,749, 9 touchdowns, 155 completions. His completions percentage was 55% in 1989. 1990, 2,500 yards, 2,579 to be exact, 11 touchdowns, 226 completions, 56%. So he went up 1 percentage point. 1991, 2,754, 2,754 yards, 16 touchdowns, 237 completions, 65.3%. There's his passing yards. Passing yards, 1992, 34-45, 15 touchdowns, 302 completions, 63.8%. That's Troy Aikman's first 4 years. So we're going to look at this again. So his completion percentage was 50, I'll say 56, 57, 65, and 64 the first 4 years. Jalen Hurts, 2020, he was at, well, he got drafted in 2020. His first year as a starter was 2021. So his first year was 61.3, 2022, 66.5. Oh, which, by the way, I'm going to read you all his numbers. 2021, 61.3 completion percentage, 3,144 yards, 16 touchdowns. They didn't give me Aikman's interceptions, but his rating was an 87. 2022, 66.5, 3,701 yards, 22 touchdowns. 2023, 65.4, 38.58, 23 touchdowns. Last year, 67. This was his lowest year in his football career at 29.03, 18 touchdowns. So I got to ask you guys, Troy Aikman, his first 4 years, his highest touchdown total was 16. His highest touchdown total was 16. Jalen Hurts' lowest touchdown total was 16. That's all I'm saying. Let's do the math here. So if Troy Aikman, and this is what you say the next time a Cowboys fan can come to you and say, oh, well, the only reason why Hurts is succeeding is because he's got a great team around him, you throw these stats in his face. Jalen Hurts right now has gotten better stats than Troy Aikman ever did. And you can say it can be different when you're talking about errors, because back then you could get away, receivers got mugged. Look, let's put it that way. And the hits were a lot more vicious back when Aikman played, and I'll agree with that. But you can't do it. You can't sit there and say that the only reason why your team is succeeding is because they built a great team around them. If you're saying that, then you're talking about the 3 Super Bowls your team won in the 90s. Troy Aikman, if he's a Hall of Fame quarterback because he went to 3 of them and won 3 out of 4 years, if this Eagles team wins 3 out of 4 years or 3 out of 5 years, then guess what? Jalen Hurts' trajectory is Hall of Fame bound, because guess what? He basically did the same thing that Troy Aikman did, but probably with better numbers. I just gave you him and Aikman's numbers over the first 4 years. Jalen Hurts' lowest touchdown output equals Troy Aikman's highest in 4 years, their first 4 years. Think about that for a second. And yardage, let's not even compare yardage, because I'm looking at his yardage right now. 1750, 2580, 2750, and 3445. They're his numbers for Troy Aikman his first 4 years. Jalen's numbers, you ready? 3144, 3701, 3858, and 2903, which this year was his lowest number as a full-time starter. Sorry. So, again, Cowboys fans, keep that same energy when you're talking about the Eagles and what they've accomplished and what they're doing with Jalen Hurts. It's the same thing you guys did in the 90s with Troy Aikman. He had a Hall of Fame running back behind him. He had a Pro Bowl fullback behind him. He stood in front of a really good offensive line. Had a great defense. Had 2 stud wide receivers. One ended up becoming a Hall of Famer. You have a tight end who should be in the Hall of Fame that isn't, but was a Pro Bowler. Like, I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. You guys got 3 Super Bowls, and the Eagles are doing the same formula. It's the same formula. And Hurts has got better numbers. Hurts has better numbers than Aikman did. Truth hurts. It really does. And the only reason why Jalen probably didn't throw for over 3,000 yards this year is because he had Saquon Barkley running for 2,000 yards behind him. But when he needed to be Air Hurts, he was Air Hurts in that Super Bowl, wasn't he? Again, leading into this game, guys, I just had to bring that up because somebody brought it up. I heard it on another, not just pretty much somebody that was talking, and they're like, you know, Cowboy fans are talking about like Jalen Hurts, like, and not just Cowboy fans, but like other fan bases. But he brought up Troy Aikman, and he goes, "Yeah, he's like Jalen Hurts has better numbers in his first 4 years than Troy Aikman did in his first 4 years." He goes, and Aikman had everything that Jalen Hurts has. He goes, but Aikman gets praised as a 3-time Super Bowl winner. He goes, let's just say by the time they get to where they both got to in their careers, he goes, I got a feeling Jalen Hurts is going to win more Super Bowls. It's just something to think about. If you're an Eagles fan, it's just something for you to think about. When a Cowboys fan goes to throw it, he's got a better team around you. Yes, you guys did too. That Hall of Fame quarterback you got, the one that works for ESPN now, calls Monday Night Football. He benefited. He got a gold jacket from having great players around him. He had Michael Irvin his whole career around him. He had it all around. He had Jay Novacek, after Jay Novacek. Trying to remember those lean years who they had at tight end. But Dallas has always had a really good tight end. I know they had what's his face, but I thought that was more the 2000s. Witten was more like the 2000s. So I don't know. Maybe I think it went from Novacek. From Novacek, I believe it went right to Witten. Might have been a couple year gap or whatever. But I think Witten wasn't too much longer after Novacek. I know Novacek got banged up towards the tail end of his career. But I mean, he had Harper on the other side of Irvin for years. And then when he left, they drafted the kid Martin. Was it Kelvin Martin? Kelvin Martin, they had him over there for a while, and he was a stud. So they always had somebody complimenting Michael Irvin on the other side. Now you're looking at it, the same fan base is criticizing Jalen Hurts for having what their team in the 90s had. And I just think it's funny. But, they turn around and they said, a few Cowboy fans, Jalen Hurts will never be as good as Troy Aikman. I hate to break it to you, dude. You're right. He won't be as good as Troy Aikman. He's better than Troy Aikman. Go off of his first 4 years. His first 4 years. I'm not counting 2020 because 2020 he wasn't a starter. 2020 Carson Wentz was the starter. I'm counting from 2021 when he became the full-time starter of this team. Nick Sirianni's first year, 2021. Till now. He's got more touchdowns, more passing yards. And if I look up the interceptions, which this for some odd reason didn't give me Aikman's interceptions, he's got a higher completion than Aikman in all 4 of those years. I think Aikman's got it, what? If I take a look, his completion percentage was 56, 57, 65, and 64. They're his first 4 years. Hurts' completion percentage, first year, 61, 66 and a half, 65, 68. Like, come on. Joe Hale says, I think the Eagles blow out the Cowboys. I think they do too. I think it's going to be high scoring, though. Difference is, I think the Eagles defense can stop the Cowboys offense a few times. I don't think the Cowboys defense can stop the Eagles. I really don't. Especially now, you don't have Parsons no more. Where's your pass rush coming from? They literally lost in one offseason. They lost both their ends in the same offseason. Now, I like the kid Overshown that they had there. He was kind of like an edge rusher. I like him. I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's back from injury. I know he tore his Achilles kind of late in the season last year. So I don't know if he's back. But, yeah, you lost to Marcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons in the same offseason. Like, literally. So I'm going to see who's going to rush the passer for them. I mean, I think they did get back, what's his face, Dante Fowler. they did get Fowler back from the Commanders. He went down, played for Dan Quinn last year, and then came back. So he's back in Dallas. So, all right, you have one, but I mean, I'm going to wait and see what happens there, man. And plus, Dallas couldn't stop the run to begin with, and that's all the Eagles are going to do is run the ball down their throat and take their shots when they can. Mike Kaepernick checking in. What's up, buddy? It can also be said that Terry Bradshaw, who had Franco, Swan, Bleiler, Stallworth, and the defense like half of his Hall of Fame. Yeah, I can agree with you that. I can definitely agree with you that. He says Hurts is way better than Aikman. I don't know about way better, but I think right now, like he's proven in his first 4 years, he's got better numbers than Troy Aikman. And he's got a Super Bowl. He's got a Super Bowl. Aikman's got a Super Bowl. Both of them have a Super Bowl within their first 4 years. They have a Super Bowl. So, so for me, honestly, I would wait and see what kind of transpires going ahead. But yeah, for me, honestly, yeah, I can literally sit here and say Jalen Hurts is better than Troy Aikman. Out of his first 4 years, he's got more touchdowns, he's got more yardage, and he's got a higher completion percentage. And if you're tracking their trajectories right now, if that's the way it's going to be, 165 and 141. Okay, that's his career numbers. Okay. Career numbers, Mike? Okay. I mean, even still, though, I mean, if you look, but I mean, Mike, we lived through that 90s dynasty with the Cowboys, and, they had a stacked team. I just think it's funny that their fan base, if you listen to anybody who cries about the Eagles, it's like 3 fan bases that cry about the Eagles and how they look. It's usually the 40-winers, their fans, because they can't stop nothing, the Cowboys, and now you're getting the Packers. Now you're getting the Packers fans because they wanted the touch push ban. Why? Because they can't stop it. I think it's funny, too, getting into that. Everybody wants to pitch and complain about the tush push. They want it outlawed, but not everybody can do it. Matter of fact, most teams look like bumbling idiots when they try it. You guys watch Buffalo try to do it in the AFC title game? The most hysterical thing I've ever seen in my life. Most hysterical thing in my life. Mike saying his career percentage is at 61.5. Okay. That's for his career. Cool. Now, if Jalen plays as long as he does, or around maybe a year more, a year less, whatever, we can dive into those numbers then. Because if he's a Hall of Famer, his first 4 years, matter of fact, I don't know about you guys, but I looked, it said, was it 91? They were 11-5. They advanced to the playoffs, which they did. And then it said for 92, it says advanced to the NFC title game. If I remember correctly, didn't they win it? They won it in the. Didn't they win in 1992? I could have sworn that they won in 92. I thought it was 92, 93. Yeah, it was 92, 93. The 49ers won in 94, and then the Cowboys won back again in 95. So, yeah, I don't know that was wrong. I'm hoping that it's not wrong with their stats for the first 4 seasons. But if you're going through with it and you're listening to it, man, like I said, if you're lining up Jalen Hurts' stats for the first 4 years against Troy Aikman's stats, Hurts has got better completion percentage, more touchdowns. Again, I didn't see the interceptions, so I can't go over the interceptions with you guys. But, and he's been to not 1 but 2 Super Bowls. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1, where Aikman got to 1 Super Bowl and won his. So right now, like I said, there's really no comparison talking about that. Like he ranks right in line. But again, this is for a rebuttal, just for us Eagle fans on the Cowboys fans. All you can say is, dude, then your 3 Super Bowls you had in the 90s were shams because he was surrounded by great talent. It really was. They had a good offensive line, a good fullback, a Hall of Fame running back, matter of fact, all-time great running back, Hall of Fame wide receiver, perennial Pro Bowl wide receiver on the other side, and a tight end that should be in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, with that said, I mean, I just wanted to bring that up, like I said, because I just looked at the comparisons of what Aikman had his first 4 years compared to what Jalen had his 4 years. And I can even actually say, too, like this, when it comes to the offensive line, I think the Eagles had a better offensive line, Hurts' first 4 years, than what Aikman had in Dallas. Because I remember watching I don't know if it was a Thanksgiving or a regular season game, but I remember Aikman taking a beat and the Eagles shut him out in Dallas. It was like 24-0 in Dallas, and the Eagles got like 11 or 12 sacks or something that day. It was kind of crazy. Ryan, what's going on? And it's only a guy today, buddy. Only me. Al is somewhere. He retweeted the show, but he's somewhere between here and there. And Pat is still in the land of misfit toys. So we will all be together someday. What day? I have no clue. But until then, it's just me sticking in with you guys. Cheers. Morning. Oh, you guys can't see it because there it is. So it's my morning Yeti cup. Sips to you. He said Terry Bradshaw's career numbers 212 touchdowns, 210, 51.9 completion rate, and those numbers is what he has in the Hall of Fame. Well, there you go. But winning 4 Super Bowls counts for something. And that's the perfect case of stuff, Super Bowls counting for something. For all these people who are saying that the Eagles winning doesn't mean nothing, it does. It does. Like I said, so I have to wait and see how Jalen's going to going because right now, let me see, 20. Right now, he's got 39 interceptions and 85 touchdowns. Does Jalen Hurts in his career right now? And if you're looking at his QB rating, he's at a 93.5 QB rating. He's thrown for almost 15,000 yards in his NFL career so far. And his completion rate right now for career is at a 64.4. Right now. There's Jalen Hurts stats right now. Not bad, man. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, well, guys, listen. One more time around the yard, as we say. I don't know if Matty B's doing his Sunday, his final word tonight, but I'm going to promote it anyway. Only reason I say that is because one Matthew B also has the Fightins final tonight, and with the Phils playing a nationally televised game at 7:10. Do not know if he's going to cut either. I know he'll probably do the final and just bring back the final word tomorrow. But if he does, I'm going to promote it anyway. So make sure you guys tune into that. Upcoming series, it will be yours truly tomorrow after the final pitch in Milwaukee. Also, will be yours truly again on Wednesday. Now, before we go there, on Tuesday, that's right, it returns, the Birds Blast Season 6 with Kyle Quinn, 94 WIP's midday producer Kyle Quinn will be here with Matty B live at 7 p.m. Also, this Wednesday night, that's right, this Wednesday night, Props, Locks, and Parlays debuts. It is your no pressure betting zone for entertainment purposes only. I will be having on my special guest will be none other than Paul Spencer from the 215 boys over at Out of the Box. He will be joining me. We love getting together. Me and Paul have been, we actually started College Football Frenzy, which is over on Out of the Box. That was a brainchild of mine and his. We watch all types of college football, and we always communicate on Saturdays and Sundays about what shillings we're putting where. And so we definitely go in and it'd be good to have Paul on. It'll be good to have Paul on. Paul, we're going to sit down. We're going to break down. We're going to give our 3 college, 3 pro, and then prop bets. And we want you guys to be an active part of this too. We want to know if you guys are laying shillings on there on a certain certain app or laying some coin down. Who do you like? Why do you like them? So make sure you guys tune in. We want it to be a very interactive show. All right. So make sure you tune in. That is Props, Locks, and Parlays. It'll be Wednesday nights at 7 with me this week, Paul Spencer. So maybe going forward too with Paul. It all depends on Paul's availability. We both know Paul's a very busy guy over there and out of the box. So if he can have time to do it, man, I'd love to have him on as a co-host because, like I said, we go back and forth on a lot of stuff, and I know there. Just a quick little story. There would be lots of times, dude, that me and Paul would be up literally Saturday nights at like 11 o'clock watching like Hawaii, like watching the WAC conference play a game like Hawaii and like Wyoming or something. So we love college football. He's pretty good with the pros as well. So, and plus too, like I said, we're doing player props. So make sure you guys definitely tune in for that. The debut show is on Wednesday. Thursday, I do not know if there's going to be an attacking third. I haven't talked to Steve yet. I did say it earlier, but due to the Eagles playing at 8:30, I seriously doubt. I don't know if they're going to be doing the attacking third. If they do, they might move it a day up. So they might follow me Wednesday. I don't know. But the attacking third will be done sometime this week. Leading in, I don't think it's going to be Thursday because Thursday we have none other than the Birds Flyby, and Steve will be hosting that. So make sure you guys check in, give your thoughts on the Eagles game right after that final whistle on Thursday. The wraparound Friday, 10:30. It's either going to be myself or Pat. Again, do not know. Pat should be getting close to returning soon. So again, you can definitely check it out. Either or, we will have you covered for the wraparound. And of course, big, well, not a big game, but Penn State goes to become 2-0 as they take on FIU Saturday. And I'll be on right after the final whistle. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We have you covered, man. We have you covered. We just don't have nothing on Mondays unless there's a Fighting's final. If there's a Fighting's final like tomorrow, nice, easy Labor Day, I got you covered. Just make sure you bring me a hot dog. That's all I ask. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Make sure you check out our TikTok. That's right. Food of the day. I'm going to go with some meatballs. We're going to do some, there's going to be some football on. There's some, there's football on. There's baseball tonight. Maybe I might be able to catch a game this afternoon somewhere. Maybe watch another game or two. But it's going to be a sports Sunday. Don't have to get up for work tomorrow. So, yeah, this is a meatball type of day today. Throw some meatballs in the crock pot. Let's get it rocking. So that will be my meal of the day. Look out on TikTok. I will be putting it up. I believe Pat will also be putting up. And if you hear me, throw something up for a damn change. You got me and Pat doing it. Show everybody your cooking skills. So, guys, it's been great. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. And listen, tomorrow's Labor Day. Just make sure before you bite into your burger and bite into your dog, just kind of take a little second, take a step back, and kind of give a little prayer to the people that are out defending us around the world that can't be home to have a burger and a dog, and the ones who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Tip your cap to them, swig a beer for them, and you guys have a good one, all right? I will see you guys tomorrow on – oh, wait a minute. Before I do this, Mike said, good show, brother. Dave Yarnell, Cowboy Dave says, hey, Mike, can I get a shout out for Amanda and I anniversary? It was on the 26th. Yes, Dave. Happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife, Amanda. And Amanda, you better make sure Dave got you something really good because you had to put up with him for 19 years. Holy cow. God bless you, woman. You must have nerves of steel. So, no, Dave, I love you. Just kidding, buddy. I hope you have 60 more years together, if not an eternity. Lunch meat. Mike says lunch meat and make a hoagie. You know, Mike, I was actually thinking that too, but I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. So you know what? He probably just gave me an idea, Mike. I might actually run to the deli and go get some meats. I got to be careful. Pat's probably doing backflips somewhere here. All right, guys. Again, it's been my pleasure to be here for you as a part of PM and the AM. Again, Pat's in the land of misfit toys. Al is joining him in the land of misfit something. But make sure we will all be back with you. Matty B on the call today for the Fighting's final. Again, he'll let you know if he's going to do the final word or not. But I seriously doubt it because of how late this game is. I got you Monday and Wednesday for the Fightings final, and also on Wednesday. That's right, because not only do I have the Fightings final, I also got the debut of props, locks, and parlays. So make sure you guys tune in. Big week, big week. Go Birds, and I will see you guys then.